welcome back to the channel. The bear population absolutely exploded last year. There were so many cubs born in the particular area I hunt of D13. I've got a couple of really big boars on camera from last year, and then a lot of sows with cubs. It was an absolute bumper year. Over the subsequent years, the amount of bears that I've been picking up has increased. 2 years back, I had a decent amount of deer on footage. There was definitely some shooter bucks on there, a couple of nice 3-points, which for the area that I'm in is pretty good. Last year, the deer numbers are pretty low. I'm attributing that to the increase in bear population. I did not see any shooter bucks at all last season. I think at best I had maybe some 2-pointers on there. Across the state, the bear populations are doing very well. The particular area that I've been monitoring over the last couple years seems to have really exploded with the amount of bears that are present. Here we got a pretty cinnamon with 2 black cubs. I can't get over the dark mask this cinnamon has around the eyes. Really hoping this one sticks around, puts on some size. I'd love to get this bear next year. This is one of the bigger boars I've got on camera. You can see the ear is tagged, and when you see him come back the other direction, you'll see he's also got a collar. It is legal to take collared bears, and CDFW does request that you remove and return the collar. It's not necessary, however. They also request that you remove it with a wrench rather than cutting through the band. This is the biggest boar that I've caught on camera. You'll notice here the camera angle has shifted pretty significantly. Those cubs try real hard every year to rip my cameras down, and they end up moving it. Another cinnamon sow. She's got a cinnamon cub and a black cub with white patch. Just another one of the sows. I had a lot more deer on camera last year. I think the huge uptick in bear was pretty detrimental to the deer this year. Pretty cute to see a cub playing with a sow. Sows give birth every other year, typically 1 to 4 per litter, and cubs are born January to February. Here's some of that footage of one of the cubs trying pretty hard to rip my camera off. Cubs are weaned at 6 to 8 months, but they will stay with their mother for about 1.5 years. Based on the most recent bear management plan, current estimates for the state are 49,000 to 71,000 bears. Last year's bear take was 976 out of an allowable 1,700. I recently came across a CDFW requirement that I don't remember seeing in the past. You are required to retain the skin and head with portion of the ear during open season and 15 days after. So don't make the mistake of sending it to your taxidermist until 15 days after season has closed, because a CDFW officer could request to look at that. This footage I find pretty interesting because these are adolescents, and I'm assuming they're siblings. I would not have guessed that at this age they would still be spending time together. I would have assumed they would have separated at this point. This is those same siblings doing some bear jiu-jitsu. You can see he's going for mount. Got the foot on the hip. He spins out, going for mount again, going for side control. He's controlling the head. Here's some further evidence that bears do in fact practice jiu-jitsu in the woods. Here's another cinnamon sow with 2 of the larger cubs that I've seen. She also has tagged ears but no collar. This is the 3rd camera, and this sow has found a dead bird, and I find this fascinating how aggressive she gets with the cubs. The next video is a little loud, but I wanted to bring up the volume because the cubs sound like Ewoks when they're begging the sow for food. And then I just threw in a few other things like a bobcat, a gray fox. These guys are great hunters, but they'll also survive on acorns and fungi. A few coyotes. The coyotes and the deer both pick up the infrared on the camera. Some early morning footage of an adolescent coyote and what I think is the mother. I have seen several coyotes in this area, but never when I was in a position to take one. This is just me trying to get into one of those spots during last year's hunting season. I didn't end up having success. I was in this area for 3 days last year. The bears ended up strolling in 2 days after I left because I left my cameras up and started picking them up again. There's really no way to track their movement patterns or behavior. They basically do whatever they want, and food sources were so abundant last year that there wasn't any particular place to watch. Hopefully I end up having better luck this year.